the book came to me, as I said, I wasn't working at the time and I'd been volunteering in the North, and I saw some stuff I shouldn't have seen, I guess. Not that anyone had done anything wrong, it was just casualties of conflict, and I'd given up hope in humanity, I would say, and I was finding it very difficult to find any kindness or beauty. I guess for me it was rock bottom. And so then I found the only peace and optimism I found was by watching the smallest interactions between animals and humans and animals and each other. And from there, in my mind grew a story. I didn't know I was a fiction writer. As I said, I'd never written dialogue before. And the story had to get out, and then once I started writing, I couldn't stop.
But what is the message you want to give to this book?
I think it's empathy. Empathy, the bigger picture, that we maybe need to be a little bit kinder to the world around us and to each other, to beings in all their different forms. We all coexist anyway, and I feel like as humans, we've evolved to such an extent that we've become sort of arrogant, when our job should have maybe been to protect the weaker species, if we are the stronger species, rather than capitalize and cannibalize on the resources of those species. So that's where the bigger picture and the message, that's where it came from.
It was a mixture of both. I write business plans for a living, I do still to a large extent, and so when the story started coming to me, I tried not to let it, like I said, but I kept developing it in my head to a point, and then I wrote down 3 rough plans for the 3 books where I needed to go. But when I started writing it took it, like I knew that we had to start obviously at the beginning and put things in context and build some characters. I knew there had to be animal interactions in there. I knew she had to meet certain creatures. I knew that she had to fulfill a challenge of some sort by the end of it, and have some pace in it. But I didn't necessarily know how I was going to get there. And the plan I wrote and the book I wrote are 2 very different things. It gets to the same end, but it grew very organically, and if I got stuck, I left it for a couple of days and thought about it, and thought about it, and thought about it, and then I'd start again, and then I'd think, okay, no, that bit didn't make sense, let's fix that bit. My research was appalling, I mean, in the sense of, it was brutal, and Wikipedia, which turned out to be not quite as accurate as Rukshan Jaiwar, and the fact check on my wildlife, but I even Googled how to write a book. And they said, finish it. That's the biggest part of writing it. And so, yeah, it grew organically, to be quite honest, and I relied heavily on my subconscious. And so there are parts of me right throughout the book, but there's also things, like I said, the message, which I really, really tried to stick to the integrity of the message, because that's where I felt that that's what the world needed, and you needed some optimism and some empathy and some positive message coming out of Sri Lanka that could cross over potentially well when we have only negativity in terms of the foreign press, dealing with the foreign press, and I really wanted to put out something that was positive for this country and came at it from a world perspective at the same time. So hopefully I've done that. Time will tell. The book seems to be on its own journey. I'm just trying to meet its expectations. I'm standing here only because it's important to the marketing of this book that I am standing here. Otherwise, I am one of those people who I prefer my work to speak for me. And as I said, this book is on its own journey. Initially, for a long time, I really didn't want to put my name to it because I want to live in obscurity, which is what I prefer. But I did it because I wanted to stand by my work and because I thought that it was important that I did. And even that is why I'm standing here today. But celebrity, I don't need it. Absolutely no way.